Welcome to the July 21st, Friday morning episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. You can tell it's 8 o'clock. Whew. All the notifications are starting to roll in. People are uploading their Friday morning videos. Hope you guys enjoyed the one yesterday morning. I'm trying to find the right things to put on the channel. I went back last night, probably about 10:30, and I looked back over some of our most recent videos. Good morning, Ty. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing good this morning. And I don't quite understand. Of course, our investigation videos, they always get the views. But I've noticed recently that a lot of the subjects that used to get a lot of views have kind of dwindled off, and the ones that seemed really odd that I thought, they were going to, I didn't think they were going to get a lot of views, and I've seen views, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, hundreds. Good morning, Tony. Hope you're doing good this morning, bud. Good morning, Sarah. Good to see you. So I'm just kind of at a loss right now. Um, but then again, I guess everything on the platform is more challenging now than it used to be because, well, I got something yesterday from, Google AdSense and everything about getting the channel monetized, but none of the links on the email would work. It would take me so far, and then, oops, an error occurred. Please try again later. So as soon as this live stream's over, I'm calling Google, and I'm going to try to get things worked out over the phone. It won't let me send in copies of my ID. When I sent in all of the banking information to get the checks deposited in the account, for some reason it automatically would jump straight back to Living History Comes Alive. So, well, isn't that just interesting? Well, let's see here. We're going spinny, spinny, spinny. So let's see if we can reconnect this way. It's saying not connecting to the chat. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, looks like we are connected to the chat again. Wait for everything to fire up here. That was unusual. No storms anywhere around. No nothing. All right, let me see what I missed here. Let me see here. There's Santee. I gotta go way back up here. I missed a lot. Are you Cowboy Era vids get the most views? Seems like it. Santee, good morning, bud. I just looked a day or two ago. Had a late night, so didn't sleep much. Yep, it was definitely user error, that's for sure. I mean, you guys just seen my power go completely out there. Uh, Wi-Fi is still going in and out. I'm sitting here watching it go spin, spin, spin at the bottom of the big screen, and then all of a sudden I'll get the yellow pause over the top of the Wi-Fi bars. And for some reason, this whole everything went out. So no clue whatsoever caused that. Let's see here. Buffer, or just me. He was complaining about YouTube. I thought it was me as well. I'm switching my Wi-Fi on, thinking, wow, what's going crazy here. YouTube hurt him. I've had a few drinkies, so I don't know. Pay for YouTube, so you can kiss my ass. I'm going to say what I want. Show is over. Looks internet issues with YouTube. No, it's true. Switching. Drew is back. Buffering live stream Slayer is back. User error. It is not user error. Y'all seen all the lights shut off. My hands are right here like this. For some reason, we just lost all power for like 2.5 seconds. No clue what caused it. No clue whatsoever. For those of you that didn't know, and I'm going to go on and throw him out here under the bus right now. For yous all that didn't know, for yous all, yeah, I sound like I live in frickin' New York, don't I? For yous that don't know, yesterday was Santee's birthday. So, you know, y'all, I sent him a real cute picture of a cowboy standing on top of a cake with a bridle around a T-Rex's neck. I had him and the T-Rex both sitting there facing each other. So I mean, you know, I couldn't think of anything more appropriate. So I was actually going to put on like a pair of silver boxer briefs and my silver and black checkered vest and my little white hat and do you know, happy birthday, Mr. Santee, happy birthday, Mr. Santee. But I didn't. I figured I wanted his birthday to be a happy, joyous one, not one where he was at work and laughing so hard that he may have wet himself and then had to change his clothes. So my question is, how does it feel to be 56? Because I'm closing in on I'm closing in on 55 here in just a few months. So I want to know what 56 feels like. Okay, good. Then I'm not going to regret crossing that threshold then. Oh, what was this right here? Oh dear God, please stop. That's about like, you know, when the wife wakes up in the morning. You know, I've already been up for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. I'm wide awake by the time she wakes up after, you know, getting in bed about 3:30 in the morning. And I'll walk in there, and this is usually the first thing I do to her. I walk in the bedroom. I just stand there and stare at her until she looks away from the TV and looks at me. and then I do this to her. Boom, shake it, 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 boom. And she'll be like, that's usually my good morning, honey, how are you? So, it feels about the same. Kids just got done watching the Mayan series finale. Going to miss that show. Chicky boom, chicky boom. Kids gave me a headache today, mate. They were in fire, all hypo, on fire, all hypo, and loud and stuff. All the crap about Jason Aldean's song. Yes, I've been seeing the videos. I've been seeing the videos on that. People have been doing reviews. There's one African American group that I watch on occasion, and they do reviews of songs, and they're like big red letters across the top of the screen: racist? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I got to listen to this song. I got to figure out what everybody's talking about. Early morning booty call. Psst. Yeah, right. If it was only that easy with the 14-year-old running around. Can't wait for September 16th. It's going to be a blast. Now, my blast is coming the 19th of next month when, Ghost-orama finally hits the Poorhouse Museum. Poor as in penniless, destitute, desolate, homeless. Poorhouse Museum. You won't find anything racist. I didn't think so. I've always liked Jason Aldean. So what in the world everybody's talking about this song being race themed, and I don't frickin' know. Can't not hear about it. Nobody I've watched review it, black or white, has a problem with it. Only the woke jokes. And the weird thing about it, it seems like here, in the last week? Yeah, we'll say the last week, last 6 days, something like that. The only thing that's been on the frickin' news, man, is Jason Aldean and that girl in Alabama. That's it. Jason Aldean, the girl who mysteriously vanished, was kidnapped by orange-haired aliens and taken to a semi-trailer where she escaped, then was recaptured and put into another vehicle and blindfolded and whatever, asked to strip naked. Pictures were taken of her. If she was blindfolded, I don't understand how she knew pictures were being taken. I don't think anybody today still uses a 35 millimeter. And phones, you can set those not to, make noise. So at least none of mine or ours, the wife's either, makes any kind of a shutter noise when you take a picture. But, don't leave out the toddler. We cannot leave out the mysterious, unseen toddler. Now, granted, she already had her flashers on and everything and her brake lights when she came into view of the traffic cam. And Of course, she traveled what 600 feet, 600 yards, 1,800 feet before coming to a stop and leaving her car and chasing down a child. You know, and it's really funny. Saturday, I told the wife, I said, well, no, Sunday, because she came back Saturday night. I told the wife on Sunday, this chick ran off. She met somebody else. There's been a Facebook post by her boyfriend about her being missing, fighting for her life. And I told the wife then, I said, she ran off to meet somebody. She just didn't want to leave, didn't want to leave any evidence behind. And then as they were going through her phone, they found, bus ticket prices from Birmingham, Alabama to Nashville, Tennessee, and, round trip times and how to steal money from a register without being caught and crap like that. So, why pics when you could do a video? Don't leave out the toddler, excuse my lingo, I'm an Aussie. I didn't hear about the Alabama woman, get out from under your rock. Yeah, it was the number one trending video and stuff on there. Sarah, recap. This chick gets off work, stops and picks up some food at a restaurant, stops and picks up a few snacks at a store. She's driving home down the interstate, and all of a sudden, she calls 911, says that she's seen a small toddler, 3 or 4 years old, walking down the side of the interstate, going against traffic, off in the ditch. So, she's on the call with 911, reports this child. They tell her to try to stay with the child till police arrive. She supposedly gets out, pursues the child. She's on the phone with her sister-in-law, hearing her talking to this child and stuff like that. All of a sudden, she screams, and all they can hear is background noise. And then she vanishes for 49 hours. And all of a sudden, shows up at her parents' front door on Saturday night, and after the police conducted their very short interview, the parents automatically took her straight to the ER. She was in shock, stuff like that. Good morning, Gunny. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing good this morning. But basically, the police have not been able to talk to her again. The parents have not allowed it. She's 25 years old, number one. The parents really honestly don't have much frickin' say in the matter anymore. But, they've everything basically that she has told the police have not been able to provide evidence for. They've not been able to find proof of a child. They've not been able to find proof of an abduction. They've not been able to find proof of her whereabouts. Supposedly, when she escaped the last time, she took off running through the woods, several woods and stuff, and wound up coming out at her family's housing development. And found her way home, and that's when she showed up at her parents' door Saturday night. So, who knows? Who knows? Something tells me that a copious amount of drugs are at play here. Tony, this looks like the only place I'm going to be able to talk to you. Well, we are a meeting place of stupendous individuals. Really cool really cool, copious amounts of great people. This is where we meet, you know. So. They do a live thing at 3 o'clock today. I watched the one, you know, that they did 2 days ago. You know, of course, I sent my wife screenshots of the police chief in his pimp suit. Um, I really wanted to take the time to, you know, get a picture of the chief of police there, and then get a picture of Jack Nicholson as the Joker right next to him with the little word bubble says, "Hey, quit raiding my closet," or something like that. But you ever danced with an orange-haired devil in the pale moonlight? Third shifter be snoring at 3 p.m. I meant no disrespect. I enjoy the space and appreciate friendliness. Dude, anytime, man. Gunny, I'm just playing, man. I'm in one of those moods. I have been working my butt off this week. I actually started the new job on Monday. Went back on Wednesday to the old place. Worked 3.5 hours there. And then I realized, you know, I was actually thinking about working both jobs for a while. And I realized that I can work as many hours at one job for one day as it takes me 2 days at the other job. You know, and and the wife didn't want me to beat myself up, so I just pretty much told him, find somebody else to verbally abuse, because I get called out on the front line for something again that's not my fault, because you don't want to yell at the pretty girls. I'm probably going to jack your jaw. So you don't yell at me in front of customers. My wife don't yell at me in public. My parents never yell at me in public. I do not believe that an employer has the right to yell at you in front of customers. I love Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton as Joker, as Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, in fact, legendary. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know, the whole idea of Gotham and that dark Tim Burton style of doing things, it's always going to be a classic, regardless of how many Batman movies they make, regardless of how many different people play Batman. You know, Jack and Michael Keaton working under Tim Burton is just always going to be classic. Let me understand, they won't hire anyone, so I have to work a couple of nights by myself. It sucks. Leaving at 2 a.m., so I got a lot to get done before I take off. I'll stay on for 10 more minutes. I believe you have plenty of time there, young feller. Before 2 a.m. I mean, you're an hour behind me, and it's only 8:29 a.m. right now. So I think you got plenty of time to get your stuff together. Quit coming up with excuses why you need to go spend time with the woman. Tell her to get on here too and join the community. Quit being a poopy head. Only mistake in the first Batman movie was they killed the Joker. Oh, I know. He never. He might have been a ruffian, but Batman never killed the Joker in any of the comic books or anything else. He always spent time in Arkham Asylum and always came back to haunt the Bat later. I ever had an employer yell at me. Neither have I. Neither have I. And that's why the girl I was working with was standing back behind the owner while he was yelling at me on the front line in front of the customers. And she seen me, and she's back there. So I calmed down, and aside from trying to get my attention from a distance, what is there to get ready? You got to change the engine in your car. She's at work. She doesn't get off till 3. I told Workforce Australia that there are some good people. There's some good people in the workforce. A lot of corruption as well. I would work, but until changes in the employment industry, they can get. It's no better in America, bud. It's no better in America. I mean, I'm leaving a place behind that, they want to close down 3 months out of the year. The way unemployment works in the state of Michigan, we would file. He wants to close down December, January, February, so we would file for unemployment. Let's say the second week of December. We probably wouldn't get our first unemployment check until the first week of February. And then he wants to reopen again the first day of March. So we would get 3, maybe 4 checks. But once you go back to work, they'll cut those checks off. You don't get them no more. So you might be off work for 12 weeks, but only get 4 checks. Winter closing is not uncommon in colder regions. Yeah, but he's never done it before. In 33 years of this place being open, they've never closed during the winter months. There's a lot of farmers and old folk here in the area that depend on breakfast in this place every day, or the people at our courthouse, or the people at the local jail, the county sheriffs that are out driving around. They pop in every day. They phone in orders from their cars or from the office every day. What he's wanting to do is he wants to retire from his number one job, buy property in Florida, so he wants to start going down to Florida, 3 months out of the year, and bringing all of his kids and stuff down and hanging out, but then closing the place down in March and coming back up. And he don't trust anybody to run the business, even though he's got people that worked for his dad 30 years ago still working there. He don't trust anybody with his money. So, really happy you left that place. You really passed me off. It pissed me off when I was just there. Ice cream and frostbite don't mix well. During the summer months, ice cream is our big sales. I mean, sometimes we'll have, $2,000, $3,000 a day in ice cream sales. But on the opposite side of that is the wraps, the burgers, the roasted chicken, the chicken strips, the fish, the fries, the homemade onion rings. Yeah, there's a lot more than ice cream there. So, was a union delegate for the work site, so when there was issue, we drop our tools and strike. It's an actual restaurant, you're hiring a manager. Would think a manager is in order. No managers. Whoever's the main cook on each shift is the manager for that shift. Oh yeah, places like Sonic, most places. We even have a few of the hot dog stands around here, like the old A&Ws, that have the car hops, the waitresses that come out there, like Sonic, that stay open. And they don't do a portion of the business that Sonic does uh, on a day's in a day, but they stay open year round. So, and I mean, all they sell's hot dogs. We have one of those here, but they close winters. We've got a few that close winters here, but we have a few that stay open too. So yeah, anyway, the Monday, like I said, I went to the new place. I worked Monday. I was there for about 5 hours. Made, God, probably 20 pizzas. My very first order, just 10 minutes after we opened, was 7 pizzas. And then there was a bunch of sandwiches and stuff that went with it. I had all the pizzas made and in the oven before the other cook had the sandwiches done. So I'm pretty efficient when it comes to making pizza. Pretty efficient. I mean, 7 pizzas. We had what, three larges, a medium, and 3 smalls on that first order. And then I made I think I made 5 or 6 more mediums and 8 or 10 larges that day. Hence why, I basically called this live stream Tossing Dough. Because it seems like that's all I do is toss dough. But I enjoy it, so kind of makes it worthwhile that way. Sadly enough, at the new place, not very many customers make it up to our big window from the kitchen to the dining room, and that's where the bucket sits for cook's tips and stuff like that. So yeah, there's not many tips that come out of that. So hence why I say toss some dough, don't make much dough. But it's going to be a lot funner place to work. So what do you guys think? What do you enjoy more on this channel? Do you enjoy the mysteries? Do you enjoy the paranormal investigations? What do you guys enjoy more on here? You see, I enjoy doing the cowboy stuff, Tony. I really enjoy doing the cowboy stuff. The only problem is that sometimes it feels like I'm repeating myself over and over and over and over on these videos because there's only so much Western history out there. And it just seems like people are beating it to death. You know, I go looking for those. Um, oh, what I was looking the other day for one, and oh, Bass Reeves, Bass Reeves. I was looking for things on Bass Reeves, and I found hundreds of videos on Bass Reeves. So then I started looking at Billy the Kid, and I found hundreds of videos on Billy the Kid. 1776 on. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do about that. I enjoy doing the history thing. I enjoy doing those historic mysteries. You know, I'm actually working on one right now. On it's another missing 411 video, but this one here is unsolved missing children. You know, one of the stories that sticks out in my head is they followed a child's footsteps in the snow out into a field, and all of a sudden the footsteps just vanished, like he was picked up. He was found. How he was found and where he was found is the mystery. But yeah, it just cowboys and aliens. Yeah, I mean, they just shot that little thing out of the ship and just picked him right up and then dropped him off like 15 miles away in the middle of a frozen lake. He was found. They said 12 to 15 miles, depending upon what story you listen to. But he was found over 10 miles away, laying face down on the ice. His coat had been removed, and he was unconscious, but he was alive and survived, and has no clue of what happened. He remembered running across the field and then waking up on the ice. E.T. telegraph home. Yeah. For each famous Wild Westerner, there are 100 that are not well known. And once again comes on the problem when I go looking for those not so well known individuals, you can't find anything on them. I mean, I used to tease Santee all the time about his videos being so short. It's like, how do you get any information, you know, out from a 4 or 5 minute video? And, you know, I start looking at some of these looking for some of these not so well known Westerners, and I don't find anything on him. He was born somewhere around this year, and he died sometime around this year, and he was known for robbing this bank and this stage and this stage and stealing these horses, but that's about all we have on him. Unexplained Mysteries of the Wild West. I have looked for Unexplained Mysteries of the Wild West. You don't find much on Unexplained Mysteries of the Wild West. Yeah, it is. It's a big problem with record keeping back in. You know, Well, we know that he was shot in this gunfight on this date, but his body turned up here on this date, 200 miles away, 2 days later. Um, that's why I keep trying to float around and do different subjects. Because when this tap kind of dries up a little, then I move on to this tap or this tap. Then when they kind of dry up a little, I'll move back over here and look over here again. But yeah, record keeping in that era, nope, it sucked. Gurgle, 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 gurgle. Gurgle, 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 gurgle. I'm just about coffeeed out already. Is that possible? Can you be coffeeed out this early in the morning? I mean, I guess I've been up 4 hours, so I think I might just be getting to that point where I'm kind of coffeeed out a little bit. Oh, Tyler, don't ruin them leather pants, man. I will have them leather pants back. Do not ruin them leather pants. I want them elk hides back. You wiener. You left and took them with you. Should have beat you up taking them. Besides that, they're not even tight enough to highlight your butt. Why in the world you would want a pair of elk hide pants? A pair of 30, 35-year-old elk hide pants that aren't even tight enough to highlight your booty. I will never know. So, but anyway, I apologize, guys, for not being on it all this week. Like I said, I have been trying to get things rolling around here, starting the new job, working on a lawnmower, trying to rebuild the carburetor on a lawnmower, and I have never rebuilt a carburetor before. So it's kind of a learning process. They fit me better than you think. Which will be the first when I do decide to. It's okay. I'll get me another pair of them. But I guess I probably should have told you while you was here. I still got the hunting frock that goes with them. And it's a Townsend's. Back with grits. Grits sounds good. I've not had grits since my aunt in South Carolina passed away. But anyway, that missing 411 missing children, that'll be up on Sunday. There's a part of me that is pure Southern boy. Of course. I'm hoping that we'll get out on another investigation this week. Hopefully Sunday or Monday night. Not really sure yet. I haven't talked to Mark or Tony in a couple days. I know Mark's been, with, you guys know, with his schedule, being in management, he's got to cover a lot of other people's shifts that call off and stuff like that, or he's on call and can't be driving a long distance and stuff like that because he may have to show up for work. Dealing with the kids and stuff like that just can't be helped. I may have to join up with another team and go out and do an investigation. And you know, honestly, Tony, I'm the same way. You know, regardless of how long I live up north and stuff like that, uh, there's always going to be a part of me that's a good old Southern boy. You know, growing up eating grits. You know, going out and hunting, and you know, bonfires, and hanging out with the family. And the South still calls, man. It still calls, and you know, I'll be honest. We're probably, you know, I don't even want to think about, you know, losing mom and dad, but you know, we're going to do our best to fix this place up. That way, when something happens to my parents, I get the house down there in Tennessee. So uh, we'll be selling this place or renting it out, and we'll be taking the house and the acreage and stuff down in Tennessee. So I've always found Southern women's accent to be highly appealing. Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, you know, I kind of long for that on top of the ridge Tennessee life back. You know, I was just talking to mom the other day, and she was out sitting on the steps under the carport at 5:30 in the morning smoking a cigarette, and she's thinking about taking the car in town and getting it washed and detailed and everything. And she said she heard something, and she looked over, and there was two deer standing not 8 feet away from her, right out by the air conditioner, and just looking at her. She said it was just last week that she sat out there one morning and counted like 12 of them, jumped the back fence out of the cow pasture, walked past my dad's shed, in between the shed and the house, grazed out there in the yard for a little bit, and then just walked out the front driveway and around the fence and back into the woods. The only thing we see here is stray cats and the raccoon that gets in the trash can. Oh, and the only time you see a deer is when they try to commit suicide and, run out in front of your car or something at 11 o'clock at night. I lived in Mobile, Alabama for 9 months when I was 18. My life was changed. Oh, I did draw a deer permit and a turkey permit. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, when I get the gun thing all straightened out, I got to get here in Michigan. You have to have a small game license to get a big game license. So I got to get like the fishing license and stuff like that, and then I got to buy the deer and things like that. So I still got a few months. So, oh, it's the same there. I know when I was growing up, during my teenage years and stuff, my early 20s and everything in Indiana, um, they were totally separate. Um, you could either have a fishing license or you could have a hunting license. Um, but here you need both. So I have deer and fox behind my house. Hinting, Orange habitat stamp, parking permit. Parking permits are free though. They do it both ways here, hunt, fishing, or combination. Pretty cool. Whatever it takes to bring a little bit more money into the DNR in our states. If I didn't live inside city limits, live close to two cops, I'd have new slippers and a blanket made. Yeah. Yeah, them little fox line slippers are comfy. Nice and toasty on your piggies on a cold winter's day. Now I've not heard a lot about it here in Michigan, but I know down in Indiana, um, you can hunt coyote anytime, year round, especially if they're a nuisance. If they get into your property and stuff like that, they have no problem with you shooting them. Fox are the same way. Um, if they become a nuisance and start getting into your chickens or whatever like that, you can kill them. So from state to state, I think the nuisance animal thing, whatever. I don't do much bitch. I don't much bitch about hunting fees. That money or some of it goes to wildlife care. Definitely so. And well, needless to say, the wild animals need all the help they can get. Coyote here around here too, but I think it's only 24-hour during fur bearer season. Yeah, I don't know what it is here. Um, we have a lot of coyote around here, but you don't hear a lot about them being a nuisance. Then again, around here, most of your farmers do cattle. You have very few uh, sheep farmers, um, chicken farmers, stuff like that. Um, Coyotes aren't much on trying to take down a cow. I don't know. White-tailed turkey have been miraculous in their recovery in the last 50 years. You can hear in Iowa too for coyotes all year round, but not fox. You have to have fur harvest license. Yeah, coyotes will take calves. Yeah, I do know that. I know down not very far north of Kokomo, Indiana, out along Interstate 31. There, oh God, must have been about 20 years ago, 22 years ago, something like that. There was a huge pack of coyotes and coy dogs that was going around jumping fences, digging under fences, and they were hitting the sheep farmers and the goat farmers and stuff like that. Something fierce. Um, I knew one old farmer down that way that he said he must have shot 20 of them in a year, and still they are going in and they are. Um, they were slaughtering sheep and stuff like crazy. He would even shoot the coyotes and leave the bodies hanging on the fence so the others could smell them. And they didn't care. They even stole the corpses. I do question the reintroduction of wolves. I can't speak about all the states, but I know in Indiana about 25 years ago, DNR started the whole Indigenous Life Reintroduction Program, or whatever it was called. Um, they re-released wolves, they re-released the eagles, they re-released anything that was originally indigenous to Indiana back into it. The wolves were mostly around the reservoirs and stuff like that. They reintroduced like, yeah, 8 or 10 mating couples of eagles, um, things like that back in around like Salamone Reservoir, Mississinawa Reservoir, stuff like that in Indiana. I don't know about Michigan. I know we have seen quite a few eagles. And wolves, not as much around here as they are up in the UP. Now, we have had reports of big cats here, cougars and stuff, right here within miles of where I'm at, right down here by the Indiana border. So, uh, whether or not they're traveling, whether or not they're expanding their territory, things like that. I don't know, but I think our most recent was only here just a couple of years ago, not 3 miles outside of town. So the wife can't figure out why I won't send my daughter outside at night to put things in the trash can and stuff, because I don't want her walking out on the back porch and finding a cougar eating the kittens out back and then it attack her. Coyotes are always on my hit list for slaying my dog years ago. Best dog in the whole world. Well, I mean, if you're gonna hold a grudge against animals that do you wrong, you ought to hate horses and calves too, for them working together and kicking your ass that day when you were trying to give shots to that calf. We got baldies here. They've done very well. I don't question Tony. They need brought back. I don't mind eagles much. They will make tree rats hide if they're flying around. Too many predators that are out of control already. Yep. We got wolves in Iowa. They migrate from Wisconsin. Well, we just saw when we made that trip down to Indiana 4th of July weekend. We just saw a bald eagle down there, directly west of Indianapolis, just flying not 40 feet above us across the highway. So, I mean, the baldies are coming back. Thank God. Not only is it our national bird, but they're beautiful to see. Wisconsin hope to cover enough ground to see big cat tracks while hunting this fall. Yeah, depending upon where I'm at or where I go this fall. Not only have we had big cat sightings here, within just a few miles of town, we've had bear within 10 mile of town. Just 10 mile north of here, there have been reports of bear. So I don't know if it's the fact that they have hunted, if they have hunted their original hunting area dry, and they're expanding out their territory, or what. If you guys will remember, here about a year ago, the wife was driving up to Hartford, Michigan when she was going through training for her management position, and she swore she saw a bear running out in the field. I teased her about it being a fat hairy cow, but then she got online and looked, and there had been multiple reports in that area of bear being sighted. So who knows? Eagles will take on dogs, cats, heard them attacking smaller children. People don't realize something big a bald eagle can get. Oh yeah, they'll get huge. Yeah, bald eagle, average bald eagle, full-grown male, have a wingspan over 6 feet, and they're as big as a turkey vulture. So yeah, I mean eagles are big. That one we saw, tubing, here a few years ago up north around Mount Pleasant, Michigan. He had to have been 2.5 foot tall, 26, 28 inches, something like that. I'm just sitting there watching us tubing down the river. We jumped off the tubes, pulled our cell phones out of the Ziploc bags, was taking pictures of it and everything. The wife, 3 years ago, was going out to visit her son and turned the corner onto a dirt road, and there was a bald eagle sitting right in the middle of the road. So, I mean, you're only talking just a couple miles outside of town here. So we got them here in the area. Bison are common here too, but don't really anymore. Yeah, we have a lot of bison farms throughout Michigan. There's one of them that's just a few miles southeast of here. I think they have 25 head. You don't hear a lot about the herds except for the national parks like, Yellowstone and Yosemite, stuff like that. But, and, you get a herd of bison walking through a national park. That always makes for great film footage. I mean, you guys all had to have seen that lady get off the motorcycle and try to take pictures of that bison in Yellowstone, and it hooking into the back of her pants and slinging her around and flinging her through the air and exposing her boudoir. And I mean, it was all over the news. It's still all over YouTube. Always wanted a bison ranch. Always wanted a ranch, period, man. Maybe when I get the place in Tennessee, since we got the cow pasture out behind the yard and everything, maybe I'll actually get my hands on a couple of them sometime. Who knows? And then, of course, we got Wild Winds Buffalo Preserve over in Fremont, Indiana, just north of Angola, just a little bit south of the Michigan line, over on the east side of the state of Indiana. They have probably 20, 30 head of full-blood bison out there. So, and, like I said, it's called Wild Winds Buffalo Preserve. You can look them up online and see beautiful pictures of the they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. And we used to go out there and do rendezvous, living history encampments. And the island that we camp on is right next to the pasture. And we do what they call a frozen butt event out there, where you go out, I think it's the end of January every year. And to me, there is nothing more beautiful than, waking up and going out to grab some firewood. You look over and there's 8 or 10 big old bison standing there, and they got snow on their backs, and, you see that where the steam's coming out of their nose when they're breathing and stuff. Is it bad? I thought, yeah, let's see if I hit the jackpot. I don't even think I shot it yet. I don't know. I know there's a few places he found around here where he could shoot the AR, but I don't know if he's taken it out yet. I've not talked to a lot of people this week. I've been so busy between, working and taking care of the house and, trying to get the lawnmower started. And y'all should have seen me last week with a battery-powered weed eater, going out and walking the yard, cutting down all the buckhorns and stuff that had grown up. Especially when each battery only runs for about 15 minutes, and I only have 3 batteries, so it's a constant, 45 minutes, and then it takes like 6 hours to charge a battery. So it takes me like 2 days to get the yard mowed, or get the yard weed eating. Now, if I'm just weed eating the yard and I got a working mower, then, it kind of only takes about 15 or 20 minutes to weed eat the yard. Good morning, Bud Files. Hope you're doing well this morning. Doing all right. But yeah, I would be lying if I said that I am not looking very forward to getting out and doing some deer hunting this year. Um, Already started making arrangements on a place to hunt, and it's a pretty active place. Outside of town, out in the middle of BFE, where you don't got to worry about neighbors or anything else, or witnesses. I just want to see my neighbors here in town pooping a brick when butchering them.
You shouldn't be doing that in the sight of small children.
So having a deer hanging in my tree butchering it is not any worse than you driving down the road and seeing one that got hit by a Peterbilt and looks like somebody stuck a grenade up its butt. At least it still looks like an animal hanging in my tree. Even though it's been skinned, it still looks like an animal. It don't look like hairy pudding. Youngest daughter said morning. Tell her I said good morning, and tell her she's beautiful and needs to smile. Because knowing her, she looks like this right now. One of these days I'll actually meet them girls. And Brenna's kids, one of these days, when y'all decide to actually bring them to Michigan when you come to Michigan, and not leaving them there with family. Besides that, I think it'd do Brenna's daughter and that youngin' of mine some good to hang out with each other and go to the beach or whatever. She's smiling. Good. She needs to. She's got a pretty smile. She needs to smile more. So like I said, my plans for today, I got to work on that video for Sunday. But before I do that, I got to get on the phone with Google. And I got to figure out why none of the links that they send me to get the monetization thing rolling, why none of those links are working. Or why they will connect me to the right page, but then when I try to move from that page to send them information, or I type in all the information and try to send it, oops, we encountered a problem. Please try again later. Hopefully they'll just be able to do everything over the phone, make it easier, because for over a month now, we've been monetized but not getting paid for anything. Because, well, I couldn't get copies of my ID, I couldn't get banking information, I couldn't get any of that stuff sent via these links. So she's all smiles. You're thinking of my other daughter, the Grump. no, I'm thinking of the younger one. The last time I saw a picture of the older one, she was smiling, and the younger one was doing this. Yep, yep, you gotta send me updates, man. I don't know how I can have nieces 8 hours away that I don't get pictures of. I need cute little smiling pictures. I mean, it's not like my family isn't constantly growing between my blood family, my married family, and this family. You know, maybe I can send you something from the mountains with them. That'd be cool. As long as it's not like a grizzly bear carrying one of them off. I mean, yeah. Miss my buddy Trevor. Yeah, he was a little all set to find out that you guys are up here and stuff, and he didn't see you. But the next time that y'all make it over here, we'll make sure that we have things arranged. Then again, this last trip was kind of a spur of the moment thing. Um, but yeah, we'll make sure we get like a cookout arranged, and we got stuff for grilling, and we'll get the whole group together, and we'll just have us a good day out on the deck, and just have at. Oh goodness gracious! My God, it's almost 9:30 already. Yeah, almost 9:25. And when I arranged, when I arranged for this live stream, I was hoping, wow, very cool. I haven't done one all week long. We should draw a crowd this morning. It was, since I'm getting paid for Calamity Jane days, I'll be able to save some money. It's a bloody damn shame they're not willing to pay for Bill Cody to come out from Michigan and partake in the storytelling and stuff like that. It's really a shame, because that would be great. Me taking a bus out to Iowa, doing some portrayal of Bill Cody with Mr. Hickok right there at my side, That'd be kind of cool. I'm rather tired this morning. Man, I was when I woke up. I woke up at, must have been right around 25 after 4, 28 after 4. It wasn't quite 4:30 yet. By the time I actually, looked at my phone, it was 29 after. And I'm like, wow. I didn't go to bed till 11. Here I am wide awake already. It's not even 4:30 yet. Might as well go turn on the coffee pot. Been up since 2. Man, not me. I woke up at 2:15, used the bathroom, and crawled straight back in bed. I was not doing that crap today. We're doing a comedy bank robbery. I get to participate in too. I have to change persona for that. Oh, cool. Brenda will be filming and taking pics all day. You need to get on eBay, Ty, and look for a gimbal for your phones and stuff. You know, the frame that's basically just a square. It's got a place for like a light on top or something. It's got a hookup for phones and stuff. That way, and that's what I was thinking about. Instead of having to lug around a tripod, it's much easier to move when you don't have to, pick something up, push the legs up, tighten everything down, close it all in, pull the neck down, tighten it up. If you get the shooting frame, you can usually hook up like 2 or 3 cameras to it, lights in a couple locations, and when you're not shooting, you just carry it by one handle and just walk around with it. You can find them as cheap as $8 or $10 and as expensive as $200 or $300. Just depends on what you want. They make the really cool ones. It's got the shoulder harnesses on it, and that way you're shooting at a certain distance constantly. It helps to stabilize it when it's got the shoulder mounts or the breast mount and stuff on it. It hooks into it, but who needs all that crap? That just gets in the way. Good morning, Jay. Good to see you, bud. Sitting here waiting for freight from Memphis. Might get out by 11 or 11:30. Well, that makes for a slow start to the morning. Hopefully you got some coffee or something to keep you rolling while you're waiting. Only another hour and a half or 2 hours. Won't be long, Jay. Less than a month, man. Less than a month, we'll all be together again, at least for a few days. So that'll be good. I started working on the new advertisement for Ghosterama, and I'm waiting on Danny to get me the audio for the commercial. So I messaged him yesterday. He said he'd do it before the day was over, and I haven't heard from him yet. So but I don't rush Danny no more with his health the way it's been for a while now. I give him time. All right, Jim Cummings Clark, James Copeland, Bob Hayes, and Jess Williams. The Tom Bell Gang. Well, I'll just tell you what. Flip this over right here. Cummings Clark. James Copeland. Bob Hayes. Jess Williams. The Tom Bell Gang. Awesome. I got them. I don't know how much info is out there on any of them. Worth checking out. Anything's worth checking out. You know how I am about that too. You know, that's why I always tell people make sure and read the description in the videos, because, you know, at the very end of it, I always tell people, you know, if you have ideas for upcoming videos, make sure and comment in the comment section below and let me know. So, I'm getting to play Santa on Sunday. Could be in Christmas in July. I didn't really think that was a thing. Guess it is. Congratulations, sir. That does kind of sound hot, don't it? I mean, and not in the woo-woo kind of way. Just the idea of the fursuit and the hat and everything. Yeah. Hot as in, oh God, we're gonna die. Not hot as in, hey, Santa. Won't you come on over here and climb down my chimney? I think so. It's over in Indiana. You know, as young as you are, Jay, it's a shame it's so far. I think the guy that plays Santa Claus in Santa Claus, Indiana, I think he's getting up there. I think he's getting way up there. It's a shame it's so far away from you guys. You might be able to get a regular gig and get out of that damn box truck until retirement. If you could do Santa Claus over in Santa Claus, Indiana, because that's a year-round gig. Oh, I'm sorry. Blub, 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 blub. Dashing through the drought, raising trails of dust. We do not think the Chevrolet will rust. That's good. That's cool. Can't wait to see South Park City. Yeah, I know. I'm being the huge South Park fan that I have been for, my God, 20 years since it started. I can't believe that I've never been there. at least now me and the wife have got a brand new vacation destination. You know, actually going out to Colorado and seeing South Park City. I think I'm more excited to see that than see my cousins. I have never seen South Park. South Park is just funny. I mean, you know, it's an adult comedy. They get Trey and Matt, when they made South Park, started working on that thing in their garage with paper cutouts and stuff like that. You know, doing still photography, doing still shots. Here's one mouth, snap a picture. Here's another mouth, snap a picture. And when Comedy Central seen them, it just it blew up. They give them all kinds of money, and it actually became straight shot animated after that. Any clips I've caught annoyed the fuck out of me. Well, it is an acquired taste. Did I forget to put that part in there? It is an acquired taste. Not under a rock, down in a hole. Whose? I mean, huh? What? Basketball was a good movie. Basketball was hilarious, and that was I believe that was pre-South Park. So they've been friends for a long time. So, you know, for them to go into business together and to start doing an animated series, especially one that was so popular. I mean, it lasted for, my God, 25 seasons, 25 years. And then, you know, they said they were going to stop making it, but they've made, what, 3 or 4 TV movies since they quit making it. Now they're discussing starting it back up again. So, but all I can say is every one of the kids in that school must be dumber than a brick, because they started off in the 3rd grade and in 25 years never got out of the 4th grade. So, well, you know, until that last movie when they were all grown up. Moi, yeah, y'all. But yeah, that's what I go to bed with, or go to bed to every night. Um, I always turn on South Park and turn the volume down, and I'll listen to probably 2 or 3 episodes before I pass out. Because every time I think I'm going to go to sleep, they'll say something, and I'll just bust out laughing laying there in bed. So it took me a while as I see where HBO is doing a series of Harry Potter. Yes, HBO is doing a series on Harry Potter, and they're talking about doing a new Harry Potter film. So that's going to be, I know that'll be a hit, just like the other films were. It took me, well, as a kid to put it together. Coop and Raymer. or Matt and Trey from the South. I go to bed with thoughts of fornication. Much the same way I do during my day. Well, you know, during my day, the wife is sleeping. And when I go to bed at night, she's only about halfway through her shift. So it don't do me any good either way. My days are pretty much thoughts of what's my next video going to be about. It would be interesting to see them do the books faithfully. I don't think there has ever been a book written that a movie was made off of that has been faithful to the book. Are you on tonight? I'm planning to be. I got nothing else going this evening. I don't see any reason why not. I mean, the plan is to be. But you missed the first 10 minutes of this morning's live stream too, where just all of a sudden the lights and everything shut off in here. And it took me like 4 or 5 minutes to get things. I had to wait for the Wi-Fi to reset and everything. So, yeah, you know, barring any unnatural reasoning why I don't, I'm planning to. I told mine I don't need her awake. The first 2 Harry Potter movies were pretty close. Well, and I have to say, Tony, that yes, though it is not important that she is awake, it's usually more socially acceptable, you know. Mine has a tendency of swinging if she gets woke up. I'll see you later on if I get home. I think Jan would probably appreciate it if you did get home eventually. I mean, I think so. I don't think she wants to, you know, make the trip up here all by herself next month. So I hope you do eventually make it home. But at least try to have a good day and get those runs all over with and go home for a nice home-cooked meal, and we'll catch you tonight. Oh, looks like my wife is awake. I just had a notification shoot across the top of my screen saying she commented on somebody's comment. So looks like she gets a little bit of that boom shika boom, you know, here in about 15 minutes. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I think I'm going to go say good morning to her, do a little bit of filming here on the green screen, just trying to figure out, you know, where I'm going to put myself and who I'm going to put in there with me. Maybe I'll get eaten by a bear or something. abducted by aliens or something. Good morning, Adam. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well this morning. It does seem to be a much nicer day all around here. Yes, it does. Quick good morning. Hope all is well. Good morning, Masha. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well today. Good morning to you too. And yes, everything is well. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later on today, hopefully, maybe. All right, bud. Have fun getting you and the girls' stuff packed, and I'll talk to you later if you get a chance. Oh God, bring to mind that song. Take me home, I hate Granada. I'm live today, 12 noon Eastern time. If I'm not in the middle of filming, Masha, I'll pop in and say hi to everybody. I'm currently, you know, with the new job and the hours that I'm working and stuff like that. The days I'm working, I'm trying to get ahead again, as many videos as I can, because the new schedule will come out Sunday night, and I don't know what I'm going to be working next week. So I know that most of the pizza sales, though they do stay busy during the daytime from 11 o'clock until around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, from 4 o'clock until, you know, 10 or 11 o'clock, they're busier than hell. 6 days a week. I mean, that place is usually busy, and everybody that comes in, they know it's the best pizza around. And I'm not stingy on the toppings. So they really like my pizzas. I gotta pack all 4 kids' bags, not just my kids. Her daughter's old enough to pack her own bag. She's old enough to pack her own bag. Ashlyn packs her own bag when we go somewhere. Her daughter's old enough to pack her own bag. So you only got to pack, well, you still got to pack 4 kids' bags. Your 2 youngest, her son, and yours. Did 8 events this weekend. Tired. Damn, dog. How you doing, bud? Besides being tired. I tend to buy cheap frozen pizza, add a half a pound of pepperoni and a pound of mozzarella. That's what I do at home. I prefer just to add my own toppings to a frozen pizza and make it even better. So, but tired. Understand, if you did 8 events this past weekend, I understand tired. You'd think so, till she forgets something. Worked to death, kidneys are hurting. Damn, man. Just take it easy, bud. I mean, you're not an old man, but you're not a spring chicken no more either. Neither one of us are. I mean, after working almost 4 months at that other job, but only working, 3 or 4 hour shifts, starting this new job and being on my feet, not only walking a little bit further to work, but, being on my feet more hours than I'm used to moving around. Luckily, I'm not moving a lot. I'm moving the length of my prep table and then just turning, opening the door, sliding the pizzas in, hitting the timer, and going right back to the next pizzas. I don't remember eating beets this week. No, nothing should be miscollared, man. If it is, you need to get a hold of your doctor. The comments makes me think of some deep penetration kind of stuff. No dog. If anything has a pink or a red tint to it, you definitely want to go and talk to your doctor. That's probably not a good sign. Food cart, sell hot dogs, sausage, biscuits, gravy, cheeseburgers. Staples of a healthy diet. Exactly. If I had the money, I'd love to have a pizza truck. There's a lot of folks out there that love to get, a huge slice of pizza, for just a few bucks or something like that. I've seen one pizza truck in my life, and they would sell like a New York sized slice pizza for $2.50, and they never threw pizza away. At the end of the day, when they were closing down, they dropped their price to $1.75, and they would sell entire pizzas. People just hell with it. They'd pay $8 or $10 for a pizza, a whole pizza, and take it home, or $12 or whatever it was, and take it out. They never threw stuff away. So, now see, a good pizza's got to have bacon on it. Bacon makes everything better. Y'all are making me hungry. My daughter took me out for a steak last weekend. I got a ribeye that was like an inch thick leather. Oh my God. No. $32. Jesus criminy. Too expensive for a steak. I do dinner deals at the end of the evening, at the end of the event. Yeah. It's always a smart way to do it, man. Less waste costs that way, And you've been doing it long enough, dog. How you can adjust your prices to compete with your competitors at an event. And I can imagine you do some pretty good dinner deals. I brought 90% of it home and fixed it. That's the way to do it. thin strips and quick fried it. There you go. I don't think I've ever had a really bad steak going out. But we haven't got very many steakhouses around here. I mean, like we have Texas Roadhouse and Outback Steakhouse. Not around here. I mean, it's a 45-minute drive away. But when I want a good steak, if we can catch them on sale, we'll buy them and I'll have the wife cook them. And a lot of times, when in doubt of the cut, she'll make like steak fajitas, steak tacos, something like that. And then it's always good. Because not only do you have your nice juicy steak, but you got a bunch of veggies and stuff to go with it. I make ribeyes you can cut with a fork. And that's a good cooked ribeye right there. Steak to cook well. Yeah, it really honestly is. Something about ribeye, especially if it's cut right. Ribeye should be so easy to cook that anyone can cook it. But believe it or not, and we've all experienced it, I'm sure, somehow, some way, people even find a way to frack up a ribeye. I'll never understand it. I mean, butchers and the people that cook the steaks or prepare the steaks in the stores, meat cutters. They go to school to learn the proper way. How to cut it, to look for the right marbling, to get something that's well marbled. They go to school to learn that, and I think it really falls back on the fact that people just try to rush to get things done, and don't take the time to look at the marbling, to look at the cut lines, to look at everything on a good steak anymore, to make sure that it is done right. Get going. Have an awesome day. You too, Adam. You take care of yourself, bud. And we will be back on tonight. Like I said earlier, I got nothing planned. So, as long as we don't lose power again like we did at the beginning of this live stream, yeah, I'll be here. Make it thinner, 3/8 of an inch thick. You too, Tony. You have a good day, bud. And don't get in any trouble. All right, Adam. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Sounds good. But all right, guys, it's that time. Time for me to be like a fat baby and head out. Time for me to be like a tree and leave. Time for me to be like a bunch of birds and get the flock out of here. So, you guys all have yourselves a great day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. We'll catch y'all tonight. Have a good day.